So we'll take a little bit introduction about the Kubernetes, Helm, and Days workflow. So Kubernetes is an open source container orchestration system for automating deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. Like Kubernetes is like Mrs. Marathon, you can say it. Then Helm. Helm is nothing but a package manager. I can give example like in Ubuntu we are having apt to install the packages. Like we are having yum in a Red Hat. So if you we can install packages easily by using Helm on Kubernetes cluster. So Helm is having two parts. First one is a Helm server, and second is Tiller. So Tiller is a client which will get deployed automatically onto the Kubernetes cluster and which will fetch the images and deploy into the Kubernetes cluster. Third is Days workflow. So Days workflow is an open source platform as a service that adds a developer friendly layer to any Kubernetes cluster. Uh, Using a Kubernetes to an end user or a normal user is quite complicated. In the beginning, he has to learn about the YAML, about the JSON, how to write the YAML and how to write the JSONs. He has to go through all the Kubernetes CLI and their attributes, parameters, and everything, which is quite time consuming and complicated. So Days is the solution for it, and Days makes Kubernetes very easy, and it's very interesting topic too. So we'll take a quick start on Kubernetes. Here I'm going to show you what are the basic components needed for the Kubernetes. If let's say I want to deploy any Nginx or web server. So what are the things I need to do? So first thing is deployment.yml. So deployment.yml is responsible for to deploy the Nginx web server on your Kubernetes cluster. So we need to write a deployment.yml. We need to mention that thing it's a deployment while writing a YAML or JSON. So we need to mention all the properties in it, what the image we are going to use and all the things. After deployment.yml, we can deploy our Nginx application into the Kubernetes, but we cannot access it through the global network. So to access the Nginx through a global network, we need servers.yml. This service.yml will point to the your actual application, whichever deployed by a deployment.yml. Say Nginx we have deployed, so we need to write one more YAML file, configuration file, which will get pointed to the Nginx, and that service.yml will say to the Nginx that, hey, I'm here. Now we can open the specific port for you, and that Nginx will get publicly accessible. So I already have mentioned quick start Kubernetes docs, quick start URL in the document. So we can see here. So what now all we need is we need to write a deployment.yml like this. So we have mentioned kind is deployment because we are writing deployment here. There is a difference between deployment and pod. Pod will be a single container, and deployment we can mention the cluster. It is quite separate topic that we can go into the depth later. So this is the sample deployment.yml. We need to write like this for each and every application. Let's say I'm going to deploy an Nginx, so I'm writing here for Nginx. Let's say I want to deploy a Tomcat, then I need to write a separate deployment.yml for my Tomcat application. So after the writing proper YAML, we need to check whether our YAML file is correct or not. After that, we can use kubectl command to deploy the application. The command is very simple. Kubectl create hyphen f is for file and the file path. If your YAML is correct, then application will get deployed and status will be like this. So we can status on the terminal. But as I told already, that deploying application by deployment.yml is not the end. Your application will get deployed, but you cannot access it without service. So you need to write a service.yml. So it's a pretty good document they have given already by Kubernetes. So they already have mentioned how to write service. In service, here metadata and labels are the most important thing. This label is responsible for to connect your Ninjix service to a actual your running application. So we are here in this service. We are telling that to Kubernetes here the service, and my app name is Ninjix, and I want to expose it on port 80. That's it. So once we will get deployed, that after that that Ninjix will be open on port 80 and we can access. There are several types to access the application. Like say if I want to access it from node port means your applications that application will get deployed on a specific server and you are accessing that application from the server. If you are going to mention cluster IP, it means that you are going to access this application from the private network only. You cannot access from the outside network. And you can mention load balancer, then you need to put ingress controller for that. Or if you are using GKE, then your new load balancer will get deployed automatically and you can access that application from the load balancer. So here they have given pretty good description about the components and how we can deploy a sample service. So this was a short review about the Kubernetes, and it's a short journey about how we can deploy a simple app. Now I am heading towards the Helm. So as I already told you, Helm is nothing but a package manager like apt or yum. So by using a simple Helm install command, we can install application whichever available in our repository. So Helm is already maintaining their cloud repo. If we want to add our own repo, we can add, but for this we need to write the Helm charts. So what are the Helm charts now? Helm charts are nothing but the packages that which we need to write for application. Then we can use these packages as a template to deploy an application. So the configuration of Helm is very easy and installation is also very easy. Just we need to go to their official page. We need to download their binary and just you can put into user local bin and you can run the commands. To configure the Helm, we just need to hit Helm init command and that Helm get configured automatically. And thus in this section Helm, when we hit Helm init, it will deploy a tiller Docker container to your Kubernetes cluster to manage the application, to deploy the applications, as well as some we need to create a user tiller and we need to give some privileges to it, which is already given in the document. And the one more section is monocular UI. So basically Helm is based on CLI and API, but some of their facilities we can see on monocular, like application monitoring. We can say which application we already have deployed, and if we want, if chart is available, we can deploy a new application from monocular UI. So this is a monocular UI. I can see a stable repository. It is a default repository maintained by the monocular maintainers. If we want, we can add our own repository, and then we can write our own templates, and we can push into the repo, and then we can access and we can install it on by just one click. So here we can say the charts, Helm charts, whatever I was talking about. Helm charts is nothing but the packages. So we can see here the several applications, console and Datadog and all. If I want to install any one of these like Jenkins, so I can click on it and I can click on install Jenkins if it is available, and it will get installed. So I want to show you some applications I already deployed on cluster by using Helm. So you can say is the days workflow I already installed by using Helm. Here Jenkins I deployed by using Helm, as well as Ingress, Nginx Ingress controller it is a gateway, and a monocular itself. If you want to see all those applications what we have deployed from the CLI, we can check from the CLI as well. We need to just put helm list command, and we can see. If you want to see how many repos we have attached, we can see how many repos we have attached. We can see that we have stable, that monocular official repo, my local repo, days, and monocular. So Helm is also having various facilities. We can deploy, we can do a rollback by using Helm. And the important fact is to install days into the Kubernetes cluster, we need Helm. By using Helm only, we can deploy days into our Kubernetes cluster. So let's see if I want to search some application, I can just put Helm search and it will give me all the applications available in the stable repo. Or if let's say if I want to, let me hide it, if I want to search Jenkins only, I can search Jenkins. Here I will get on to install the Jenkins. I just need to hit Helm install and the application name. It will be stable Jenkins. So as I already deployed a Jenkins, right now I'm not going to deploy it again. So this was the Helm, a quick overview to Helm. And now I'm moving to Days workflow. So as Days workflow is kind of PaaS, that it is a layer, middle layer between the end user and the Kubernetes to manage Kubernetes cluster very easily, to smoothing the operations on the Kubernetes cluster. Let's say if developer is working on any application and he want to deploy his application for testing or for development purpose on a Kubernetes cluster, and he don't know about the Kubernetes that much, or low Kubernetes expert is not available to help him, he can use Days workflow to test it. So it is very useful and very interesting application. As it is in progress, they are still working on it. Some of the features they are trying to add it more. So I have given a command, a URL in the reference, so where we can see the installation document and where how we can use the days as well. So for days, we need to create a user, as well as we can integrate days with LDAP, and we can maintain the privileges of the user. So this is the official document of days. It is pretty well. They have given, as well as they are having Slack channel for support. If we are having some issues, we can ask them into Slack channel or on GitHub. So here is they have given how we can deploy days into our Kubernetes cluster. It's quite lengthy process for first time when we are going to deploy days. After deployment and configuration of days, it will become very easy to manage the applications. I will show you later how we can easily deploy application by using already built Docker image. and the Docker file. So third section is application deployments. So we can deploy application by three different methods. First one is the build pack. Build pack means developer already has written some code and we have added templates, some templates for it, and we can just push that to complete bundle to the days, and days will deploy into the cluster, Kubernetes cluster. Heroku is using a similar method. So Heroku build packs are also supported with the days. We can use Heroku build packs as well for the days deployment. Second method is Docker file. Let's say we have written some Docker file and we want to deploy a Docker application into our Kubernetes cluster by using days. It is pretty simple. There